Here's a question I hear from women almost every day. What can I do about porn addiction? My husband looks at porn obsessively, they'll tell me. It's wrecking our marriage. What can I do to stop this? The first thing to know is this: it's not your job to stop this. It will be your husband's job to work on his behavior if he so chooses. That's an important conversation to have so you can understand whether he wants to stop the behavior or not. Let's say you get the best case scenario and he chooses to work on the problem. Good intentions are great, but there's a little more to recovery. Let me talk to you about what that looks like. Part 1 in recovery is to stop the behavior, and that usually involves internet monitoring, a change of phone habits, and other behavioral work. And it's wonderful when we get to that place where the behavior has been at least slowed down, if not completely stopped. But it's important to understand that recovery has just begun, and the real work still lies ahead as we understand and resolve the underlying issues that are driving the behavior. For many people, it's true that habit is a big part of what's going on, but usually we find that there are issues about personal sexuality and spirituality that need to be worked on. Self-image is usually an issue. A lot of times there's a negative view of women that needs to be dealt with, and research shows that men who look at a lot of pornography become very entitled, and that needs to be confronted. A lot of times there's guilt and shame that they need to work through as well, as they consider, the pain that they've caused to their families. Many men find that groups are a great safe place to work through issues like this, and there are any number of support groups you can locate online: Celebrate Recovery, Pure Desire, Sex Addicts Anonymous, XXX Church. I always say to men, find a group, get in a group, stay in a group. It's going to take a while to get well. 5 years is the number that I've read as a good benchmark for recovery. And meanwhile, during that time, there's a lot of falling down and getting back up on the way to good, healthy habits. So as you think about a 5-year recovery mark, you can understand that while your husband is working on his stuff, you're going to need support as well. We find that many women in this situation will meet the criteria for post-traumatic stress disorder, for very serious anxiety disorders, and for deep depression. And I always encourage women to find a personal counselor that's just their counselor. It's not the marriage counselor, it's not their husband's counselor, it's just their counselor who can help them get help as they process through what's happened to them. Groups are a great place for women too, to process pain, to educate yourself about what's going on for you and for your husband, and for you to consider what healthy boundaries are going to look like for you on the road ahead. Whatever your husband chooses to do, you can choose good self-care. Of course, we all hope that everything will turn out well, and I want to tell you that recovery is real. People do change, people do get better. But even the best road to recovery is a rocky one with a lot of challenges on it, so make sure that you've got that supportive structure that you need. No matter what your husband chooses, you choose to be healthy and well. I hope that helps. Okay,